To curb the menace of employment scams by some con artists in the state, Bayelsa State's government has directed the state security personnel to arrest conmen specializing in the sales of fake oil and gas application forms to unsuspecting members of the public who may believe the claims of such people as genuine. The information was made public by the media aide of the governor, Mr. Daniel Iworiso-Markson, who quoted the state's senior special assistant to the governor on oil and gas, Basil Kembo, as saying some criminally minded elements were the perpetrators of the act, which he said was to extort money from innocent residents in the state. He went on to say, "I wish to categorically state that the Office of the SSA to the Governor on Oil and Gas has not authorized the sale of forms to any person or group of persons to the best of my knowledge as regards employment of Bayelsans into oil and gas committees." He warned those involved to desist, stressing that non-existing employment should not be used to defraud Bayelsans. According to him, government is doing everything humanly possible to fish out those behind the act for justice to prevail in line with policy objectives of the government under the leadership of Governor Seria K. Dixon. By this statement, we are advising the public to disregard the information. It is misleading and without any iota of truth. Also, the government means well for Bayelsans and will continue to ensure the protection of lives and property of the citizens. The state official also added that government would not give up on providing more jobs, which will be duly announced when available and by the right channels. So now you know, guys and girls. So as they say, shine your eye well. The new head of the UN's mission, Ismail Cheikh, has said that Sierra Leone now has the necessary means to fight and control the Ebola epidemic in the country. The statement was also backed up by a senior World Health Organization official. According to the chief, Sierra Leone is in much better shape today to control Ebola than it was a few weeks ago. Ahmed, who addressed people at a press conference in Freetown, is quoted as saying, "From everything I've seen so far, I am optimistic that Sierra Leone can get by." He, however, warned that the victory will be achieved by considerable efforts by all. WHO Deputy Head Bruce Aylward, who was visiting the country for the 5th time, said the issue has improved a lot from the past 4 times he visited because then he wasn't sure the country could defeat the virus. He also called for the effective use of resources. Last week, guys, we reported that Liberia is beginning to report districts with no new cases. And now Sierra Leone has said that a district in the south, Pujehun, is the first in the country to have no new cases registered for 42 days. It looks like there's finally light, guys, at the end of the tunnel. And from Ventures Africa, people who have lost their jobs in Morocco will have something to fall back on, as that nation has put in place a fund to provide a monthly allowance following the signing of a job loss allowance into law. The job loss allowance law has been a long time coming, as negotiations have been ongoing for 10 years. Employment Minister Abdesalam Siddiqui is quoted as saying to the Maharebia, a website sponsored by the United States Africa Command, that it's a start that the government will try to improve on over time, but our aim is to get all workers who lose their jobs back into work. The fund will pay 70% of the average monthly wage declared by a worker over the 36 months prior to the date of termination of appointment, and the government has put aside $54 million for the initial fund, planned to last about 3 years. Now, this fund is not an excuse for people to decide never to work again, as Minister Siddiqui has emphasized that that's why those in receipt of the allowance must be registered with ANAPEC, which is the National Agency for the Promotion of Employment and Skills, so that they can receive guidance and training to help them get back to work. Not everyone is impressed by the fund, though. A member of the Moroccan labor union, Mohamed Aloui, has said that the allowance falls short of workers' expectations, although he conceded that it was a step in the right direction. He's quoted as saying, "We mustn't forget that employees are a big issue in Morocco, especially since 80% of employees are not declared and do not benefit from medical insurance or pensions. That's why we're asking the government to do more to protect the rights of Moroccan employees." Now, not everyone is entitled to this fund. According to the head of the National Social Security Fund, Said Amidouche, workers who resign, abandon their post or depart the organization voluntarily are not entitled to the allowance. Like I told you guys, it's always good news here on ER Reports because we are all about the good stuff. And there's more good stuff after this break.